So, 1 year of the Enthusiacs. Feels like we just started yesterday, doesn't it? And what a year it's been. We've seen an influx of content. We've seen the content we produce jump in quality exponentially. And more than that, we've seen an outpouring of support from you, the viewer. And so I'm going to take this moment to do something I haven't done in a while, mainly because I don't have a whole lot of unanswered questions, but I'm going to take the questions I haven't answered, and we're going to answer them today on a very special viewer mail episode of The Gagoo Says. Now, as per usual, I don't give the names of who asked these questions. If you'd like your name shouted out, be sure and tell me in the question, because I know a lot of people prefer that internet anonymity, and if no one, and I don't want to take that away from somebody if they want it. So, let's get into it. First question says, how about do you handle a review? Well, depending on what the content is will really determine how I handle the review of it. For example, if I'm reviewing a movie, the first thing I do is just simply watch the movie. I don't take notes, I don't do anything. I just grab a drink, sit in a chair, watch the movie. I let it sit there for about a day, and then I watch it again. This time I have a notebook or something next to me, and I'm writing down notes of things I notice, things I want to talk about, etc. Let it sit again. Next day you do the final watch through. This is where you're making sure you haven't missed anything, making sure everything's right, and making sure that if you have a question you've written down, it isn't somehow explained in the movie. With a television show, I don't necessarily do that just because TV shows are a lot longer. In fact, if you'll notice, reviews of television shows are very few and far between on this channel, at least from me. And with a video game, I tend to want to try to play the game as close to completion as I can before we go to step 2. Step 2 for all reviews is exactly the same. You sit down at your computer and you write up a script. What do you want to say? What do you want to talk about? And if you need to look up information about maybe behind the scenes information, something about the actors themselves, things of that nature. And then finally comes the most crucial part, which you are witnessing now, recording. And then the final stage, of course, is editing and then uploading. I'm hoping that answers your question. That's what goes into a Vega Goose review. Now, the next question is going to be a bit of a personal story because they ask why, with most of my intros, this clip always finds its way in there. Honestly, it's not for the reason you're probably thinking. You see, whenever I first started this gig, this was way back in the before time, I was coming up with my very first intro. I put out a call on my old Twitter account that if anyone had anything they wanted me to add in, to send it up. And a young woman, Stacy Watan, sent me that clip. Now, after that, she and I became very good friends. We talked together on Skype about many things, mainly talking about Star Wars and Marvel, but whatever. And about 6 months ago, she passed away. So in a small way, I continue to use that clip because to me, it represents how we met, and it reminds me of her.
Don't cry, motherfucker.
I know that sounds cheesy and corny as shit, but it is what it is. Alright, final question, and turns out I really didn't have a whole lot of unanswered questions, and that is, what does the future hold for the Enthusiacs? Now, the website itself I can't really much speak to. I know our content creators are busting their ass to make things a lot, but I can really only speak for myself. And as for me, I plan on getting out better quality, but maybe not necessarily as much quantity. Going back and looking over some of the ones I've made in the past, I feel like maybe I've been a little too rushed, at least in my own opinion, but then again, I've always been told I'm a perfectionist. That said, the future for me involves better quality, better research, and hopefully enjoyable content you will all watch and like. The last year has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Happy birthday, Enthusiacs, and many more to come. Until next time, my name is Vega Goose, saying thank you very much for watching, and this show shall continue.